This bitch is recording. This bitch is recording. I think, yes, it is recording because I see it is flashing red. I say that like it's some new scientific concept. But when a fucking camera is flashing, blinking red, it probably means it's recording. Anywho, I thought I'd start this series I'd like to call Signals of Smith. You know, it has a nice ring to it. It really does fit my engineering personality. You know, signals are a big thing in engineering, especially electrical engineering. And it would just kind of consist of me rambling about things that I've noticed, mainly in fitness and wellness, obviously, but who knows. But the first thing I was going to discuss is how I honestly managed to fall victim to the cliche of improving your sleep quality by moving your phone into a different room. You know, I never did like that because usually the last thing I would do before I go to sleep is be on my phone. So, you know, it felt kind of weird. But honestly, I made like a nice soft substitution. I didn't, you know, cut it out cold turkey. I made a nice, like, reasonable change. What that consisted of is I have an Echo Dot, and it's synced to like all my accounts, Audible, Spotify, and all that stuff. And I'm just one of those people who cannot fall asleep in dead silence. There has to be like something, usually like white noise, calming nature sounds, shit like that. Or other times too, like an audiobook or a podcast. Yes, I'm one of those people who thinks audiobooks do count as reading. I'm one of those people who thinks that listening to audiobooks counts as reading because you're still absorbing the knowledge, just in a different way. So you're still getting to that same end as though you were actually reading a book. But I'm just not one of those people who likes to just sit down and read. I like to just put my headphones in and move around and while absorbing the knowledge. But anyway, so I popped my melatonin and then I put on my podcast on my Echo Dot and then put my phone on its charging dock in my bathroom and then just went straight to sleep. And honestly, that was the best night's sleep that I have had in quite some time. You know, a big thing too, it really gets me, is I am a fervent victim of what they call revenge bedtime procrastination, where it's like I want to get more out of the day and have more time to myself. So I try to do that when I should be going to sleep, and it really does fuck up my sleep quality very badly. But it gets better throughout the week. It's always a cycle that I need to break, but it's always at its worst on Sunday nights. I guess that's because I know the week is coming and I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not dreading it, but, you know, typical Monday, case of the Mondays type of thing. So like, I'll try to go to bed, like be in bed at 10 o'clock. Next thing I know, it's 1 in the morning and I'm finally going to sleep because I had just been doom scrolling and all that shit. But I think with this new habit of making a soft substitution of putting on a podcast, putting on an audiobook, putting on music on the Echo Dot while leaving the phone in the other room will actually make it achievable for me to stay consistent with this habit. Because honestly, my sleep has never been bad, but it's like it could be better, like it could be optimized. You know, thinking like an engineer here when it comes to sleep. Especially like I talked about, it needs to be improved, you know, at the start of the week. That way my week is not reactive from a sleep standpoint, trying to catch up on everything and have the energy to finish the week. So we're getting there. Also, I just bought a new pair of like higher end blue light glasses because I am on a screen. I'm a computer engineer. I am on a screen late at night, which does also, studies have shown loosely, I don't really follow all that, but I probably should do more of it. But yeah, it really does help. Or, you know, being on a screen late at night really does screw your sleep patterns. So wearing some higher end blue light glasses hopefully can be another tool, so to speak, to improve the sleep quality. And that's one thing I'm really trying to improve is just tapping into little small areas of life and improving them bit by bit. Not cold turkey, you know, there could be days where I would feel comfortable sleeping in dead silence, but not just yet. You know, the withdrawal symptoms would be annoying, and I probably would just toss and turn and, as Dad would say, see every hour on the clock. What are we doing here? Some people just do not know how to drive. But it'll get better. It'll get better. It'll get better because I will make it get better. That's what I'm holding myself accountable to. And then it should feed into everything as well, improving sleep quality and better gym quality, better gym training session quality, better energy throughout the day, focus and everything. So honestly, just I run these little small experiments to have fun with it, but like test some things, change the feedback, see what the outcome is, and improve it bit by bit, not go 0 to 100 in 2 seconds, because that's just gonna get me nowhere, because I will just have my body and mind will just have a soft hissy fit, and it's just not gonna work. But nice little signal, a signal of Smith, as I'll call it, before I go to the gym.